Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my channel, Fluent Pro Hub.
Welcome back to Fluent Pro Hub, your favorite place to learn English in a way that's not only effective, but also fun and stress-free. I'm Emily, and if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. If you've been with us for a while, thank you so much for being here. You know what makes our channel special? We don't just teach grammar or vocabulary. We help you feel the language, live the language, and speak it like a natural. You see, many learners struggle with English, not because they're not smart, but because they're not thinking in English. They translate every sentence from their native language before speaking. And that's exactly what slows them down. That's what makes conversations awkward. That's what creates hesitation, confusion, and fear. So today, we're breaking free from that cycle. Today's episode is called Think Smart, Speak Fluent. And trust me, this one is going to change the game for you. Because learning English isn't about memorizing long lists of words or cramming complex rules. It's about training your brain. It's about building habits that make English feel as natural as breathing. And most importantly, it's about making small changes that lead to big results. This episode is especially for those who feel stuck. For those who study hard but still can't hold a conversation. For those who understand English when they read or listen, but freeze when someone asks them a question. This is for you. And here's the best part. You don't need hours a day. You don't need expensive courses or complicated apps. All you need is consistency, a little patience, and the right mindset. Because once you start thinking in English, speaking becomes automatic. Imagine walking into a room full of English speakers and joining the conversation without hesitation. Imagine ordering food, giving directions, or sharing your opinion confidently. No pauses, no translations, just smooth, clear English flowing from your mouth like water. Sounds good, right? That's exactly what we're aiming for today. In the next few minutes, you'll discover how to rewire your brain, how to build real fluency, and how to stop overthinking every word you say. No more struggling, no more translating, just pure, confident communication. So get comfortable, press play, and let's dive into something powerful, something practical, and something you can start using today. Because whether you're preparing for an exam, applying for a job, or just trying to improve your English skills, this episode will give you the tools to move forward. Let's begin. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to pick up English so easily? It's not because they're smarter than everyone else. It's not because they have more time. It's because they think differently. They think smart. And that's what sets them apart. They don't waste time on methods that don't work. They don't try to memorize hundreds of words at once. They don't rely on translation. Instead, they use strategies that fit their lifestyle, their pace, and their goals. Today, we're going to explore those exact strategies. The ones that help you break through plateaus. The ones that make learning English feel effortless. The ones that turn passive understanding into active speaking. Let's start with the most important idea. Thinking in English doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen faster than you think if you do it right. Many learners spend years studying English but still can't speak fluently. Why? Because they focus too much on reading and writing and not enough on thought process. They hear a question and immediately switch to their native language to form a response. By the time they translate it back into English, the moment has passed. The conversation has moved on. Does that sound familiar? If yes, then today's topic is exactly what you need. We're going to show you how to bypass that middle step, how to respond directly in English, how to train your brain to think in the language, not just use it. It's not magic, it's science, and it's completely possible. Here's how it starts. Every morning, as soon as you wake up, take a deep breath and say to yourself in English, I am awake. I am ready. I will practice English today. Simple sentences, short, easy, but powerful. Then, as you go through your routine, describe what you're doing in your head or out loud. I am brushing my teeth. I am getting dressed. I am drinking tea. At first, it might feel strange, like talking to yourself. But this is the beginning of a mental shift, a shift that will slowly, steadily make English feel like a part of you. The key is repetition, not perfection. Now imagine this. You're sitting with friends and someone says, "How was your weekend?" Instead of panicking, instead of searching for the right words, you pause for just a second and then respond clearly. My weekend was great. I relaxed at home, watched a movie, and met my friend for coffee. No hesitation, no translation, just natural, everyday English. That's what happens when you train your brain to think in English. When you stop treating it like a foreign language and start treating it like your own. So how do we make that happen? Let's talk about a technique used by top language learners around the world. Mental narration. Mental narration means describing your life, actions, and thoughts in English, like a voiceover in a movie. Whether you're walking, cooking, shopping, or working, narrate what you're doing in English. For example, if you're in the kitchen, I am washing vegetables. I am chopping onions. I am making dinner. The smell is delicious. Or if you're walking outside, it's sunny today. There are birds flying. People are jogging. I am feeling fresh. Even if no one hears you, your brain does. And every time you do this, you're reinforcing English as your thinking language, not just your speaking language. This is the secret weapon of fluent speakers. It builds confidence. It builds rhythm. It builds flow. Another thing we often forget is that fluency is not about knowing everything. It's about expressing yourself clearly, even with simple words. Let's take an example. If you want to say, "I really enjoyed the movie," but you don't remember the word enjoyed, don't stop. Don't panic. Use a simpler version. I liked the movie. I loved the movie. The movie was good. These are all valid. Native speakers understand you. And that's the goal, to be understood. Too many learners get stuck trying to find the perfect word. But in real-life conversations, there's no time for that. There's no dictionary in the middle of a chat. So instead of focusing on perfection, focus on expression. Focus on clarity. Let's take another scenario. You're at a party. Someone asks, "Where did you travel last year?" Your mind goes blank. You remember visiting Thailand, but you can't find the right words fast enough. So you hesitate. Then you answer in your native language and switch topics. But now picture this. You take a breath. You smile. You say, "Last year, I went to Thailand. I visited Bangkok and tried street food. The weather was hot, but the experience was amazing. No complex grammar, no fancy vocabulary, just simple, clear English. And guess what? Everyone understands you. And that's what matters." So how do you get there? By practicing daily, by thinking in English, by speaking even when it feels awkward, by allowing yourself to make mistakes and grow from them. Because fluency isn't about being perfect. It's about being understood. Let's take a short pause here. Take a deep breath. Let these ideas sink in. You don't need to learn everything at once. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep moving forward. And the more you practice thinking in English, the more fluent you'll become. In just a moment, we'll dive deeper into the techniques that help you build fluency quickly. We'll talk about how to create a daily habit that sticks, how to use shadowing to improve pronunciation, how to expand your vocabulary without boring memorization, and how to stay motivated even when progress feels slow. So stay with me, don't skip ahead, don't lose focus, because what you're about to hear could be the turning point in your English journey. Let's keep going. You're doing great just by staying with us, by giving yourself the chance to grow. And now, let's dive into one of the most powerful tools for improving fluency, shadowing. Shadowing is a technique used by language learners all over the world. It's simple but incredibly effective. Here's how it works. You listen to a native speaker, whether it's from a podcast, movie, or YouTube video, and you repeat what they say as soon as possible, matching their tone, rhythm, and pronunciation. At first, this might feel awkward, like your mouth isn't quite in sync with your brain, but that's normal. Your brain is adjusting, your tongue is learning new sounds, your ears are tuning in to the music of English. Here's an example. You watch a short clip of someone speaking English. Maybe it's a TED Talk, maybe it's a travel vlog, or even a short interview. You play one sentence at a time, pause, repeat. Try to sound like them. Copy the way they stress certain words, the way they pause, the way they speak with emotion. Do this regularly, and something incredible happens. Your brain starts recognizing patterns. Your voice starts sounding more natural. Your pronunciation improves, and before you know it, you'll find yourself speaking with more confidence, clarity, and rhythm. This isn't about memorizing scripts. It's about training your brain to think and respond like a fluent speaker. It's about building muscle memory in your voice. And trust me, it really works. So if you've been feeling stuck, give shadowing a try. Just 5 to 10 minutes a day can make a huge difference. Now, let's talk about something many learners overlook: listening without subtitles. Yes, I know. At first, listening without subtitles feels impossible. You miss half the words, you guess at meaning, you get frustrated. But here's the thing. This kind of listening builds real comprehension skills. Start small. Pick a short audio clip, a 2-minute conversation, or a short story in English. Listen once. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. Then listen again. Focus on key words. Try to catch the main idea. After a few listens, you'll start noticing things you didn't before. A word here, a phrase there, the tone of the speaker, the mood behind the message, and eventually your brain will start connecting dots automatically. That's when real understanding begins, when you stop needing translations and start picking up meaning from context. That's the level we want you to reach. Because in real life, people don't speak slowly. They don't repeat themselves for your benefit. They don't write out subtitles in the middle of a conversation. So if you want to speak confidently, you need to train your ears to work naturally. Another great habit to build is reading aloud. Reading in English is already a powerful tool. It exposes you to vocabulary, grammar, and structure in a meaningful way. But reading out loud takes it to the next level. Find something interesting, maybe a blog post, a short story, or even captions from your favorite social media page. Read it slowly. Feel each word in your mouth. Pay attention to how your voice rises and falls, how you stress important parts, how you pause for effect. Reading aloud helps you improve pronunciation. It trains your mouth to shape unfamiliar sounds. It teaches you how to express emotion through your voice. And it makes speaking feel less intimidating because you're practicing in a safe space. Don't worry if your voice doesn't sound native right away. That's not the goal. The goal is to become comfortable expressing yourself clearly and confidently. Once you achieve that, the rest comes naturally. Let's take a moment to reflect. How often have you said to yourself, "I understand English well, but I can't speak fluently"? If that sounds familiar, then today's episode is exactly what you needed. Because understanding English and speaking English are two different skills. One is passive, one is active. And while understanding is a great foundation, speaking is where real communication happens. That's why our focus today is on moving from passive understanding to active expression. We want you to stop thinking, "I understand what they're saying," and start thinking, "I can respond in English." Because the truth is, you can. You just need practice. You need repetition. You need to shift your mindset from being a listener to becoming a speaker. Let's go deeper. One of the biggest mistakes learners make is trying to learn too much at once. They download apps, buy books, watch hundreds of videos, but they never stick with any method long enough to see results. And that's why we're focusing on smart habits, not random efforts. Smart habits are small actions that you do consistently, not hours of study, not complicated methods, just daily practice that fits into your lifestyle. For example, every morning, describe your routine in English. During your commute, listen to English audio and repeat phrases. Before bed, write 3 sentences about your day. Whenever you see something interesting, label it mentally in English. These aren't big changes, but over time, they create massive progress. Let's take another example. Imagine you decide to read 1 paragraph every day. Just 1. Doesn't matter where it's from. News, fiction, blogs, or even captions on social media. Read it, say it out loud, understand it. After a week, you've read 7 paragraphs. After a month, 30. After 3 months, nearly 100. And with each one, your brain grows more comfortable with English. Your mind gets used to processing full thoughts in the language. And suddenly, forming sentences becomes easier. This is how fluency is built, not with sudden jumps, but with steady steps. Now let's talk about vocabulary. Many learners struggle with vocabulary because they try to memorize random words with no connection. But real vocabulary learning happens through context. Instead of writing down isolated words like beautiful, difficult, or opportunity, learn them in phrases. Learn them in sentences. For example, it was difficult to wake up early. She wore a beautiful dress to the party. This is a great opportunity for growth. When you learn words in context, they stick better. Your brain remembers not just the word itself, but how it's used in real life. And that's what makes your English sound natural. Also, don't be afraid to use words even if you're not 100% sure of their meaning. Language is learned through usage, not perfection. Native speakers often learn new words by hearing them in conversations and guessing the meaning from context. You can too. So if you hear someone say, "I'm feeling nostalgic," and you don't know the word nostalgic, don't panic. Think, they said it softly, almost like they were remembering something. Maybe it means missing the past. You guessed it. And now the next time you hear nostalgic, your brain instantly connects it to that moment. That's how real learning happens. Now let's discuss writing, a quiet but powerful way to build fluency. Writing forces your brain to organize thoughts, to choose the right words, to structure sentences properly. And the best part? There's no pressure. No one has to hear or read it unless you want them to. Start small. Write just 5 sentences a day, about anything. Today was relaxing. I met my friend for coffee. The weather was warm. I watched a good movie. I practiced English for 10 minutes. Over time, you'll notice improvements, not just in writing, but in speaking too. Because writing gives your brain time to process language in a structured way. And when you speak, your brain uses that same structure to help you form sentences faster. Another tip, rewrite the same sentences in different tenses. If you wrote, "I watched a movie," try changing it to, "I am going to watch a movie tonight." "I watched a movie yesterday." "I will watch a movie tomorrow." This helps you understand verb forms naturally, without boring grammar rules, without flashcards, just simple, practical practice. Now, let's talk about something very real: confidence. Confidence is the final piece of the puzzle. Many learners understand English well. They can read, write, and listen with ease. But when it comes to speaking, they freeze. Why? Because they fear making mistakes. They worry about sounding wrong. They compare themselves to native speakers and feel discouraged. But here's the truth. Fluency is not about sounding perfect. Fluency is about being understood, about getting your message across clearly and comfortably. Native speakers don't care if your grammar is 100% correct. They don't expect flawless pronunciation. What they care about is whether they understand you and whether you understand them. So give yourself permission to make mistakes. Embrace them. Learn from them. Mistakes are proof that you're pushing forward, that you're trying, that you're growing. Every time you speak, even if it's just to yourself, you're building confidence. And confidence is what turns learners into speakers. Let's imagine this together. You're sitting with a group of friends who speak English. Someone asks, "What did you do this weekend?" You take a breath, you smile. And you say, "I stayed home and rested. I cooked dinner and watched a movie. I also went for a walk in the evening. It was peaceful." No translation, no hesitation, just calm, clear English. That's the goal. And it's completely within your reach. So how do you get there? By practicing every single day, even for just a few minutes, by repeating the same techniques until they feel easy, by using English in your daily life, not just during study sessions. Here's a challenge for you. For the next 7 days, try to think in English for just 5 minutes each day. Describe what you see around you. Describe how you feel. Describe your plans. Then increase it to 10 minutes, then 15. Keep going. Soon, those 5 minutes will turn into a habit, and that habit will turn into fluency.
If you found this video helpful, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe for more engaging content to improve your English. Keep practicing and take care.